It was another busy day at the gym, but I could not really get away with doing 2 sessions in a row with no heavy-ish weights. It was nice in the park the previous day, but this time I felt like I wanted to do something heavier. And I started off with some overhead presses. I was doing 30 kilos, which were giving me a bit of an annoyance the previous time. So I went to 5 repetitions, 6 repetitions actually, the first couple of sets, and then I did 5 on the last one. I was super set in that with a ramp up on weighted chin-ups, and I went up to 24 kilos. So that's a progress there. It's one of the 2 lifts that I can actually now work towards progressing and not trying to work around injuries and still get the movement in. So this is the 16 kilos, nice and clean repetitions, getting all the way down and getting a fully stretched shoulder there. This is another set with the overhead press and 30 kilos. So from what I can tell, I was trying to engage my lats as well. I was also trying to widen my grip in the third set. That did not work very well, but what I could tell is that despite it giving me a bit of an annoyance in the last repetitions, I was feeling much more stable, and I'm venturing now to say that my shoulder issue is slowly now resolving. I can do something that I wasn't able to do before. So let's keep this up. This is 20 kilos, and last time I did 22 kilos as a top set. These 20 kilos felt pretty good. I knew that I could do 22 for sure, and I decided to go for 24 after. What I'm thinking about in here is not to let my legs drift forward too much, so trying to keep the body as straight as possible. And this is the set where I try to start off with a wider grip, just to engage my lats a bit more, but that position probably places a bit too much stress on that muscle that is tightened right now, and I narrowed it a bit. It means longer range of motion. This is the movement that I've been doing up until now with overhead presses, and I've always felt comfortable with this. I was going up to 5, and when I feel like there is a bit of an instability, especially on the way down, I leave it, and I'm gonna come back in a few days and see how it goes. 24 kilos moved well. The second repetition felt not even that tough. The third one, there was a bit of a sticking point here in the middle, but then I was really focusing on keeping my legs nice and straight and keeping full body rigidity, and I was satisfied with the progress on this. And then going down to the lower body, I was getting some volume in for my hips, and the hip thrust in here was with 50 kilos. I was doing 3 sets of high repetitions, trying to pump as much blood as possible, both in the glutes and also in the front of the hip, this part that was giving me a bit of an annoyance. And this is a very good exercise because it doesn't really give me any pain, and I can still work kind of hard on this. And I was supersetting that with some front leg work in the form of the Sissy squats. Here, supersetting these with hip thrusts are a good and not so good thing. So it's good because I'm working both sides of the leg at the same time. It may not be super great because after I get a big pump from the hip thrust, it's kind of hard to fully contract the glutes to stay with a very straight hip. So I'm noticing here that I'm bending a little bit. It's just because my glutes are very pumped at this time. It's not a big deal or anything because I'm still gonna work the quads anyways, but yeah, maybe it's not the prettiest form ever, but it was a good session. Let's get back into this. Ciao.